She was saying, no, she has to rest, so and so. But Lord, Jesus Christ know that it's not, so and so is a devil. Amen. May the Lord bless you. Amen. Those testimonies that I'm giving is to bring your faith in some level. Amen. Amen. Because you need God to use you. We need God to use us. Oh, yes. Amen. Amen. Whether you are a woman or a man, yes, the same God who is working here, the same God who has healed me, yes, will heal you. Amen. 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 Okay, let's me. So, when the man said that, the man said, there's a man who is, a young boy who is listening to me, but one day he will go to hospital, they will tell him that the disease, the HIV virus is no more in his body. Do you know that all the listeners, those who are listening to the radio, will they believe? No! Even today, this testimony, people will never believe. I'm telling you the truth. Someone told me in my church, an elder, he said, Pastor Elom, do you know, I can't believe that's your testimony. That's your testimony, I can't believe. And I asked him, can you at least believe that David, 12 years old child, caught a lion and killed it? Can you believe it? He said, oh yes. So do you think that God cannot do the same thing today? You who are sick, you are the one who need healing. But the devil come and tell you don't believe on those things. But you are the one who need it. Amen. He will turn back and come and tell you, hey, you see, this church that you are going, don't listen to them, because what they are telling you is a lie. Jehovah Witness people, they will tell you that, no, miracle is not for us, it's for only the apostles. They will ask you, are you also John? Are you Peter? But they have forgotten. The Bible said, I am with you up to the end of the ages. And he said again in Acts chapter 2 that the promise is for you, yes, Jews, for your children, yes, and for who? All that are far. Even in Nigeria, even in Canada, even in France, even in everywhere, the promise in the Bible is yours. Get up and catch your healing. Get up and receive your healing. The Lord wants to touch you. The Lord wants to do something to you today. Today. Don't doubt. It will not help you. The message today become powerless message. Yes. Make rounds. Go to the message churches. The mechanic is there, but the dynamic is no more. Amen. What happened? So, from 2000, I will rush. From 2009, now in 2011, brothers and sisters, though I'm fasting and praying, I was fasting and praying, it get to a point I was seriously sick. I told you, if I cough, is it cough? Yeah. Si je tousse,
when I cough,
ça sort avec le sang.
it comes out with blood.
Ma poitrine,
My chest,
avant de tousser,
after I've coughed,
je vais me maintenir solidement comme ça.
I have to maintain myself solidly.
Parce que ça me faisait très très mal à la
Because I
poitrine.
feel pains on my chest.
Quand je vais,
When I cough,
je sens ça depuis l'intérieur.
I'll feel pain within me.
C'est quelque chose que je n'ai jamais expérimenté de ma vie.
It's something I've never experienced in my life before.
Amen. Et quand ça avait commencé comme ça,
And when it began like that,
I was saying, oh Lord Jesus, please. But see, I have fasted for so long. I've prayed for so long. But from 2009 to 2011, I started coughing with blood. It seems like the prayers and the fasting I was doing is not working. But I want to let you know, don't look at the symptoms. Is it like that?
symptoms.
Don't look at it. I was praying, fasting 11 days, 9 days, 7 days. And after 2 years, I started coughing now with blood. If you see me, my flesh is just melt to my bone. Is it like that?
Yes, sir.
And I will say, oh Lord, please, I know that you are hearing me. Please, I know that I've not done well. Please, but please, give me another opportunity. Give me another chance. Please, I will now serve you. Someone say amen. 2011, I was so tired, so weak, and I decided, because I was there in Accra, none of my village know where I am, or yes. I decided, because I was weak. Is it weak? Feeble.
Yeah, feeble, weak.
And I say, because I was tired with the fasting and prayers. See, 9 days, 11 days, 5 days, 7 days, 3 days, I can't count. And now, upon all those fasting, I was tired with the disease. See, if I sit down in the chair like this, in 2011, from 2010, the ending of 2010 to 2011, if I sit down in the chair and I got up like this, my anus,
My anus
let une tache
will leave a spot, a mark,
sur la chaise.
on a chair.
Parce que je vivais la diarrhée tous les jours.
Because I had running stomach every day.
Quand je marche,
When I'm walking,
mon anus me gratte.
I feel pains on my anus.
No,
Crack.
is it itching?
Itching.
C'est comme si je vais gratter à chaque moment, quoi.
It's like I should scratch it in every minute.
Si je m'assois
When I sit
et
down,
que je me
And I
je me
get
lève, ça laisse de taches là-bas.
you see a mark on that spot when I stood up.
Who can stand here and be telling you what I'm saying? But I want to let someone know that God is still God. See, I've fasted, I've prayed for so long, but still the disease weaken. Is it weaken?
Yes.
Me. I was, oh Lord Jesus, I beg, please, please. Do you know? I will hear in my ears, only believe.